Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Pimp Sunkiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast, maybe, with Group 3 for Letitia Lewis. So, yes, this is the part 2 slash the channel pull a card, pick a card, read for Letitia Lewis. So, as you may have noticed, if you don't, please go back and sort through my videos and you shall see part 1 of this video where I have the whole layout of the pick a card and everything for the main characters of episode 1 for LoveCraft Country, child. So, I don't even feel a need to explain why this is a two-parter. Let's just make it do what it do, okay? So, as I explained in the first video and just a minute ago, this is a channel read for Letitia. So, first things first, the meaning of Letitia is joy. And in some languages, it can also mean brave woman or unassuming woman also. So, child, going into my notes here. Okay, we are first introduced to Miss Letitia in episode 1 when she arrives at the block party at the little concert performance situation that her sister Ruby is doing. And Ruby is performing, and after she does some crowd engagement and asks them for suggestions on what she should perform next, her sister Letitia yells out, the song that she wants to sing. I think it was a whole lot of shaking. Gyrate now over on this land. Okay, so Letty yells out her song or whatever, and the crowd motions for them to do a sister sing along. Okay, and we automatically notice the tension, we automatically notice certain disconnects, we automatically notice certain problems, okay, between the two and individually. So of course they do their little performance, and some other things get discussed and talked about after that. I get more into that throughout the read, and also even more in depth in the recap and review. Okay, so Letitia, what identities and synchronicities does Group 3 and others who just find interest in this video altogether, what are the identities and synchronicities? And what I am getting from this is basically just elements and things that help you understand your correlation and why you resonate with a character, with this character, with characters from other shows and things that I would do, of course. And it just gives you a new perspective on why certain things come across your palette and come across your path, okay? And why you find interest in certain things also. So, what are the identities and synchronicities with Letitia Lewis from Group 3 and other people who read this video? See that? I hope you can halfway see that. You can see that yellow above everything. It is the solar plexus card. So I'm going to prop that there without even reading the caption at this point that's on that card. The solar plexus definitely comes in a lot for Letitia. Just the audacity of it all, okay? It's the bravery for me. And like I said, that's literally what her name means in some languages. Brave woman, brave little woman in particular. And that is exactly what she is. The bravery to already be doing certain works and things to change the world, the bravery to come back home where her siblings don't really see it for her, the bravery to just walk up on people and say what she needs to say, to put Tick in his place when he needs to be put in his place, when he is acting stupid and trying to act like he know everything, and like, okay, the world and everything is just happening to him. Yes, she puts him in his place. She will put anybody in their place if need be. Okay. um and you can tell that people often think less of her as well, because in the interaction and first conversation that we see between her and Ruby, Ruby is basically expressing disdain and disappointment. And how Letty uses her life and how Letty also uses her privilege. Letty not only has pretty privilege, but also colorism privilege, if you will. Even though they are both of the same oppressed groups, one is more uh, one is more systematically oppressed than the other, and one is higher on the hierarchy than the other. And Letitia is higher on the desirability part of that. Okay, and so that causes a disconnect, because Letitia's siblings and probably other people that she comes across often feel like she skates by in life through, you know, being innocent looking and good looking and all of that. And we even hear certain rumors come up about her being promiscuous and things of that nature, being wild and being careless and all of that. And it really is a lot of stereotypical assumptions and lack of communication as well. Wow. Letitia could stand to work on some things, okay? But ultimately, for some reason, people just think that she's not doing anything important with her life and just skating through life based off of her looks and her systematic privilege and things of that nature. But if they actually took the time out to think and dig a little deeper, they would find that there is a lot more than what meets the eye. Definitely a load of bravery in the face of adversity, especially towards at the climax. And I talked about this in the other video as well throughout the other pals readings. And we see this take place when in the climax of episode 1, when she takes a hold of George's car to get away from the angry mob of white men who want to kill them. Okay, and she just hops in and she just drives, and she don't know where she going, what she doing, but she just going. She just know that she got to be brave in this moment, and she got to do what she got to do. And because she is so firm in this and so strong in the solar plexus, confidence, courage, brave energy, she is able to use her passion. She's able to use any rage, any anger that she possesses in order to channel that in her survival modes and progression modes, and just in her being present and embracing each character and each situation that she comes upon. She is able to channel all of that in the correct ways for the betterment of everyone, which gets into this other card that came out here, which, so sorry you cannot see the wording, but good thing I know it says Gaia, which gets into the Gaia energy, that natural feminism, that natural lightness, that natural weightless type of vibe, that airy type of vibe. The higher chakras definitely being very strong at play, and that mothering protective, mothering, nurturing, mothering energy, and also patient and forgiving, mothering energy coming into play. And as you can see in this card, also there is a lot of blue here as well, which speaks to, and that just came naturally to me, no pun intended, but which speaks to her ability to use her voice effectively. Often, when we first see her, she doesn't say too much, but when she does speak, she speaks with a purpose. Everything she says is with full throttle motivation of accomplishing a goal, okay? And also, that also goes back to her being able to set boundaries, using her voice to set boundaries, using her voice to defend herself, and things of that nature. And so, I say all of that to say, so far, that people who chose this group and people who are viewing and resonating with this video, there is a chance that you have been made to feel bad about protecting yourself and the ways that you go about protecting yourself. And also, there's a need to work on some survivor's remorse that is coming up. And I'm getting that it could be coming up along the lines of like Letitia, people feeling like you've had it easy, regardless of what spectrum, regardless in what way, just people in general that you come across feeling like you've always had it easy, that you've never had to struggle in life, or people who just are mad that you are happy and for some reason they want you to struggle and they feel like you have not lived because you have not struggled. And little do they know, you go through your own shit, you just have better ways and other ways, different ways of dealing with that and different ways of fulfilling yourself. And your path is not, directly correlated or parallel to anybody else's path. And that is very hard for people that you've come across to grasp and understand. And honestly, they don't have to understand, because what you need to understand and what you need to work on understanding is that you are in your place of fulfilling your path and using the gifts and the strengths that your your higher force prepared for you, okay, and designated to you. So it's coming to me that like people don't realize that the way you move throughout life and the decisions that you make, even though other people feel like you're selfish, they don't realize that it's coming from a place of trying to save and help everybody and establish fruit to be bared and distributed upon everybody. And that gets to you. So some direction that's coming up is to definitely work on your solar plexus chakra, affirmations, yoga coming up concerning this Gaia card as well, and also dancing more, loving on yourself more. Okay, we see Lady dance a lot throughout the show, throughout the episode. We are literally introduced to her and she gets on stage and starts singing and dancing. She gets in the car and she wants to control the radio, okay? Everywhere she goes, she wants to control the music, okay? And that is definitely feminine energy. That is definitely Gaia type energy, music. So definitely picking up on some artists as well, and definitely just picking up on some dancers, and picking up on some just general lovers and dibblers and dabblers in music. And so there's definitely some messages coming through telling you that You've been sitting on some lyrics, you've been sitting on some bars, you've been sitting on some chords and orchestrations, and you need to start putting them into play because you're holding yourself back. And when you hold yourself back, you hold everybody else that's connected to your divine path and the divine progress back as well. So, um, with that being said, there's a matter and a need to have patience and respect people where they are, because while you are on the road to helping and saving and educating a lot of people, a lot of people aren't educated enough or healed enough to comprehend and receive that. So they may try to attack you when you try to help them. And those are people that you have to love from a distance. Okay? Okay. So let's get in. Well, I'm gonna pull a past life card for her. I'm gonna pull a past life card for that one. Also, synchronations and identifications with Leticia Lewis. Look at that. That is. Transportation. Transportation. That's what it says. Transportation. Follow me on Instagram. I will post a pic of this, and likely I'll see about doing a general read or something on this, and also more than likely elaborate also a little bit more into how this connects to Leticia and all of us who resonate with her. Okay, so that is the transportation card, and I can move this up a bit. Okay. Transportation. So it's getting into needing to buckle down. Again, no pun intended, but buckle down and really work on getting stable transportation. To somebody specifically, some people specifically, I'm hearing something come up about you want to just get something that rides, but you need to want more for yourself. You need to think higher of yourself than that, and you also need to think ahead. You don't want to get something and constantly have to put more money into it, fixing repairs and all of that, and it doesn't even last long. Get something relatively new. It don't have to be 2021. It just needs to be not so used and not so worn and torn. Okay? Okay, I hope that helped. Okay, I hope that made sense. Okay, now we see this come up with Leticia in the way of she be on trains, she be randomly hopping in cars with people, she be randomly hopping in other people's cars and driving them, honey. So that's giving energy of the root chakra, red, okay? The root chakra being a bit out of whack. And that is a great segue into the car, her classic car symbolism, which is the red Eldorado, okay? The red convertible top Eldorado two-seater, honey, okay? And Dorado means gold. Ooh, gold, okay? Giving luxury vibes, giving divine vibes, giving destined for greatness, honey, okay? Okay, and like I said, the red, and also transportation, which picking up Archangel Michael vibes, they also came up in part one. Archangel Michael, and he deals with the root chakra, feeling protected, feeling provided for, feeling stable, feeling grounded. People who have ADHD may not be the most grounded. People who are very fidgety, always got to be like moving and stuff. um often tend to be light on their toes. The people who walk on their toes, their upper chakras tend to be stronger a lot of the time than their lower chakras. Doesn't mean that their lower chakras are weak. It just means that they naturally gravitate and function higher function higher in their higher chakras. So with that being said, it correlates to what some other things that I was just saying about Letitia. So that confirms much of what I just said about Letitia and the correlation to her, but also giving that a level of codependency, if you will, has been formed on other people for means of transportation, which has put some people that are in this group and that resonate with this video in the energy, not necessarily the intention, but in the energy and wavelength, the frequency of being opportunistic or appearing opportunistic, much like many people communicate that Letitia comes off. And we also kind of see displays of this, you know, like I said, the way she pops up and she just hop in the car, she just pops up and she just walk in your house and she insert herself and you, okay. And while it is for everybody, there is a level of and consideration which does stem from self-centeredness, okay, because you're so focused on yourself and what you gotta do and what you need and what your agenda is, that you're not being considerate of other people and how they may feel and what they may be going through, things of that nature. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have to enable people. It doesn't mean that you have to allow people to treat you bad. It just means being more mindful and reading the room. Okay, and with that being said, I said what I said. You should be able to connect the dots on that. Let me see what else I'm picking up from that card thus far. A journey, new journeys. Perfect timing too, given the moon and the planets arrangements and everything. Okay, so new beginnings. If you've been seeing the number 9 and synchronicities a lot lately, just straight up 9 or 999 or 911, that's given that a lot of old things and old mindsets are ending so that new things can begin, so that you can embark on a new path and or a new level of the path that you were on. So excuse me. We see that really instantly with her. She goes from popping in on the concert situation at the block party and everything's cool, to being on this journey and being on this trip with Atticus and George, trying to find these magical implications and these pages that go to books so that they can undo curses and solidify generational protection and generational advances. Okay. If it resonates, keep it. If it don't, leave where it's at. So let's get into symbolism. This will be a more on the lines of creative spectrum, correlated with the spiritual spectrum of it all. So this would be basically the symbolism that the creators intended for her, as well as the symbolism and messages that the divine realm intended for the character and intended for the actress that plays her. the chariot, the chariot, and that confirms and elaborates literally what I just said about new beginnings, leaving some old things behind and starting some brand new stuff. And I'm picking up relationship vibes, and some people have been in a weird space. This is specifically for people who are in relationships. And once again, if it resonates, keep it. If it don't, leave where it's at. So there has been some paranoia coming up about the person that you are with, or the person that you are considering to be with on another level, and feels like safe territory. Okay, what's coming up are triggers for you to make the decision to leave your insecurities and to leave your fears behind. Basically, sacrificing your fears that you feel like are protecting you in order to embrace love in its entirety. And it's amazing how hard that correlates with Letty. And it correlates so hard that I'm gonna have to save that this big strong message that's coming to me. The basically the happening in the show correlation with that, but it regards her connection to Atticus. Needless to say, if you've seen the show, then you should be able to put it together. Why that particular love message correlates so heavy with her character, but I'm going to save my elaboration for that for the spiritual and artistic recap and review of the episode and the show. Okay. It is the Lovers in reverse. Okay, it's a karmic relationship. There is a karmic relationship for a lot of you. It's so crazy how heavily based in love this has turned, but that makes sense from other readings that I've done on her in my past time though too. Just particular cards that came out for just her identification in general. But the Lovers in reverse, what I'm getting off of that is, like I said, doing some intense shadow heart chakra work, because there is a lot of heartbreak, and I'm getting that it is for a lot of you, it's more parental than it is old romantic relationships. For a lot of you, I'm picking up on mommy issues, which Letty has mommy issues, neglectful mommy issues, abandonment mommy issues, mean, angry mommy issues, things of that nature. So picking up on some of that, and that being a root fear in a lot of y'all's fear of connecting with people, fear of being intimate with people, letting people get close to you on a real level, which could also explain why have a bit of an escapist mindset, always looking for a way out, always looking for a reason to leave, heavily hypervigilant on exits and entrances in buildings, like on a literal sense and a figurative sense. Okay. And there is a need to balance that out. That's not a bad thing because it's a means of protecting yourself, but at the same time, it needs to be balanced out because there's a lot of paranoia going on. And it's like you feel like if you are intimate with someone or if you are in relationship with someone, that will mean that you have to take crap off of them, or that you have to humiliate yourself in some type of way in order to get validation or approval or acceptance from them. And even if that's not what they think, I'm getting that you're having a hard time making yourself believe and trusting yourself to not put yourself in that position. I'm getting that it's like you don't trust your own heart. You don't trust your own heart to know when to set boundaries because you feel like when you love so hard and you want to do everything for a person. It's just a matter of learning how to love without throwing the love away for yourself. Okay? And learning different options and different methods of love. Remember earlier, a couple of minutes ago, when I said something about loving people from a distance, sending them energy transfers of love, try finding some affirmations to send energy transfers of love, but then also I am only open to high vibrational sources. I am only open to high vibrational sources. Okay. Let's do detachment. That's what it says. It says detachment. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside. Inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. That just confirmed and correlated hard as fuck with what I just said. Detachment, child. Knowing when to let go. True trust in yourself and the divine realm. It's knowing when and how to take your hands off of things so that things can fall into place how they need to. And so that you can develop more trust in yourself and the Most High. I'm going to now channel from Journey Smollett on basically the same question, the symbolism and messages. And so this will be from her perspective and how she adapted herself and how she was evolved from the roles. So instantly we got letting go. And these literally fell out. Everything is needed. Everything is indeed out of control. And God will hold it all. I can safely let go. Everything is indeed out of control. And God will hold it all. I can safely let go. This puts me in mind so hard at the end of episode 1, when they are at odds with the Shaggoths, okay? And Letty has to run back out to get George and then just possibly run to safety, child, and get whatever help there is, okay? And as Tick is talking to her and call himself prepping her to run out there, she is saying to herself, as I walk through the valley in the shadows of death, I shall not fear. She's saying that scripture. I hope I said it right, but she's saying that scripture. And that speaks volumes and correlates so heavy with this card. God will hold it all. Everything is indeed out of control. It indeed is out of control, as it should be. God will indeed hold it all. We say things are out of control when we don't understand it. But that's not always necessarily how it is. And sometimes, if we're able to develop our discernment to be able to learn when to let go and give it to God, He will hold it all. And everything will fall where it needs to be. Divinely timed and divinely placed. Divinely designed. And I didn't even know what this card was. I just knew it was a card that fell. I picked it up and I was just holding it. And it says the path. Or does it say your? It says your path. Divinely designed. Divinely timed. Child. Dear Yah, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. Dear Yah, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. I don't have to speak much on that. I literally don't. Y'all, that's wow. Okay. I'm going to do one more card on that subject, and then I'm going to do a little bonus read on something. Okay. And this is still Journey Smollett's of symbolism and, you know, how she adapted herself to things that she learned and how she was changed. Correlated through you all's reading and synchronicities. Five, circle cross of Tanan. Rare intersection of heaven and earth. This speaks even higher along the lines of what I said about being divinely designed, placed, and time. Okay. This is solidifying light worker starseed teas. Whereas you often feel tugged and pulled between two different worlds and you feel compelled to help and save people. Because it is a part of your path. You just have to learn healthier and better ways to do that without self-destructing and compromising yourself. Just seeing if I'm picking up on anything else with that circle cross of the man, the circle cross of the man. This keeps coming up in every reading. So I'm gonna keep saying it. A need to do research on your heritage and your ethnicity so that you can get a better understanding of your culture and so that you can get a better understanding of your spiritual self and your spirituality so that you can, once again, develop your trust in yourself, that root chakra, and develop your confidence and your courage and your bravery in yourself and your ancestors and your divine realm as a whole. Okay. And honestly, that is all that I have so far for this particular portion as far as the character analysis intro portion for episode 1. And this is just focused on the 3 main characters of episode 1. I will have other character analysis, okay, where I will touch on other people with specific things and other different symbols, okay. And uh, 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 yes, okay, but I hope everything that I said was educational and entertaining, and that it helped, and that it also made sense, that it resonated where it needed to, and that you have the discernment to leave what does not resonate with you at the door, child. Thank you. Thank you for being here, okay? Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and supporting me on the grind up, okay? Um, I am going to get into a lot as it concerns the actual recap and review of the episodes. Likely going to speak on a lot about the Easter eggs and stories and different symbolisms, and also elaborate more on the characters that I've already done readings for just thus far, okay? So, if you haven't taken a look at the part 1 of this video and you just feel pulled to, child, feel free, okay? Feel free to share if you care as well, and I appreciate you. Now, without further ado, y'all, the famous and legendary Michael K. Williams, who played Montrose on this show, Lovecraft Country, child. He passed away. He passed away yesterday. And I just want to say, first and foremost, rest in peace, and thank you. Thank you to Michael K. Williams for embracing us and allowing us to embrace you. And just real quick, I am going to pull a few cards on spirit and some little messages. Just see what comes up. Just see what comes up. So this card is giving me basically the energy of his spirit, the energy of his aura, and the condition, the composition of it at this time. And this is the 3 of Cups, and it is giving at love and at peace overall. It's giving that he is with loved ones that he has missed and mourned for so long. And even though he knows he's left a lot behind, he's just fully content. He can see himself and literally see the world from a totally different perspective, literally and figuratively. And it's bliss. It's like nothing he's ever felt. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank y'all once again. Thank y'all. And like I said, I will do other character analysis reviews where I will indeed talk about Michael K. Williams, legendary character Montrose. I also may designate some time and energy to the wire as well, and see about doing some videos on that show as well. Just some homage and flowers thrown at our lovely legendary guy. So thank y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share, okay? Leave me some comments, okay? Leave me some questions, some things that you would like to talk about, some things that you would like for me to talk about and touch on as it concerns Lovecraft Country, as it concerns any other shows, any other music, songs, lyrics, things of that nature, portraits that you would like for me to read on, that you would like for me to talk about, that you would like for me to just recap, review on some just straight up artistic stuff. I also act. I'm going to be doing monologue videos and skits and things of that nature. So drop me some ideas, drop me some suggestions if you will. Respectfully, I will take what resonates with me and leave the rest at the door. And I hope that y'all have and develop the discernment to do the same. Appreciate y'all and peace.